Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of my Airline Tycoon series with Phoenix Travel. In the previous episode, we went ahead and bought 2 new planes, and in this episode, we're sort of dealing with the repercussions of that, because I guess there are a few. So first of all, I'm in a bit of a predicament here, because we're going to struggle to make money. Just based on the fact I need to fly this mains plane straight away, but I don't actually have a lot of money to play with, so you jump forward into Sunday, because first of all I need last minute to open up. We've not actually taken, I don't think, any last minute orders this whole series, which is weird. Arguably, in my previous series, I landed up going ahead and getting routes profitable very quickly, but I just feel I've not had necessarily the luck that I had in the previous series, because I was very lucky just with taking over Airline so soon, and I felt there was good planes in the museum. I picked up 2 planes and they're not bad, but they do have a little bit of headaches as well, just with their high consumption rates, and their age as well is going to cause some maintenance issues along the way. Anyway, so I'm looking for last minutes. We have taken 5 over the series, but that's not been in a long time, I'll tell you that. Right, so what we want to do is actually, we've got all planes can fly. All planes can fly. I guess the airfare is busy going ahead and doing its... Okay, so I'm now down at 30,000 on the Singapore-Bangkok route. Interesting. Right, anyway, let's jump out of here. I've got 3 planes on the ground here in Singapore, which is not profitable, so I need to go ahead and get that sorted. Whoa. So looking at this here, right, say I select another route from Singapore here, right? We've got Singapore-Manila. It's got no tenants on it at all. However, I go ahead and look at the tenants on this route, and it's got Phoenix Travel 1 to unknown. Does that mean another airline has this route on its books? I think it does. Which is really not up my street at all. And something I don't like. Okay, that's not good. What we are going to do is shortly though, we are going to go ahead and take this route into action. We're going to go for Sydney to Singapore, and we're going to start putting some of our bigger planes onto it, just because I want to go ahead and be that little bit better and a little bit more profitable. It's got quite a high current requirement. Daily requirement isn't overly high, but it's probably going to take about 6 hours to fly that distance, I feel, so I think that all in all, 1 plane should do the trick. If not, we've got that extra few planes. First of all though, I just want to go down to last minute and see if there's any big bargain deals we can make. Though Sunshine looks like she's en route. She's off to the cargo terminal, which is something I will never touch unless I get a cargo plane. Right, Manila, Singapore, we can do that today, yes. Palma, nope, we're not in that part of the world. I forgot this thing about last minute, is that often you're not in the right part of the world. Not interested, and yep, we can do that one, no problem. Right, okay, so let's go ahead and now also go into air travel and just start to take things from tomorrow, just so we can go ahead and start to at least fill up the Cuxhaven, which should always be on orders for the time being. Tokyo to Singapore, very nice premium, I'll take that. We'll take that Seoul flight as well, just because it's until Saturday. Tuesday to Manila, we can do quite easily. We've got this Wednesday flight. I've not been looking at the passenger count, actually. Or the distance. We can do all these anyway, though, so that's not a problem. Let's just go ahead and take them. And let's go ahead and fill in all our orders and last minutes. We've got 8 flights to put in to the scheduler, which should be good enough to do. Right, starting with Cuxhaven. I can't use the Cuxhaven on any of these somehow, so that's not good. I'm not at all sure why. Probably the distance and the passenger numbers, because there's a lot of high passenger numbers, and if it's a low passenger number, say for example, our Moscow flight, then it's the distance, so not perfect. Right, first of all, we have planes which need to fly today. Sunday to Bangkok. Off you go, and then to Manila. Is that going to fit in? Okay, shit. This is not good. Right, okay, what's going to be the bigger penalty? But this one's more profit. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that, and we're just going to get charged the fee, which will be unfortunate. You'll fly out tonight, because I want to go ahead and put in a Singapore to Bangkok on there. That works out fine. Right, that should hopefully be profitable. It will be of 96,000. We are going to get fined 37,000. However, that's not a problem. Right, on Tuesday we fly to Manila. That's fine, that gets us 105,000. The expenses are way too high on this plane as well. This isn't good. This really isn't good. With regards to Tokyo, Singapore, we can do, but I'm losing a third of my profit margin just getting there. That's not good at all. Singapore to Seoul can go anywhere, anytime. If we're going up to that part of the world, we'll put it in there actually, because we go up to Seoul and then it's quite a short distance between South Korea and Japan, so that only gets me 19,000 profit. These margins are pathetic. This isn't good. This really isn't good. Singapore now to Sydney. I'm going to go ahead and stick that in for Thursday. That's already negative. This isn't good. This isn't good. I'm going to have to sell the plane is what I'm going to have to do. The Rhine isn't good enough and the mains isn't good enough either. They aren't good enough. I would be inclined to keep the Rhine, but I don't know. I feel its fuel consumption isn't good enough. We're going to jump forward now to Thursday. We're going to go ahead and they'll sell the mains, I think. That's what we're going to do. See, I'm not making profit on that either. And then Moscow to Singapore. This isn't good at all, is it? You're going to lose 300,000 going there. You're going to make 36,000 coming back. This could just about bankrupt us, honestly. It's really not going to be good. Not going to be a good few days. We're going to jump forward to Thursday. So that's us down on money and hit by sabotage. Jesus Christ, this is not a good start at all. Yeah, okay, we've stayed even over that night. This night's gonna be the worst. We're gonna lose about 600,000 here. Okay, went down, but we also went up. I can't remember how we went up there. I'll not question it. That is profitable, actually. That's actually one of the decent profits. Though the plane's percentage is already drastically down. Right, that's us into Thursday, so that's rode the wave. I'm actually just gonna sell both the planes, you know that? I was a bit spontaneous in buying them. I didn't really check over too much, and they just need to go. The Airfort's still bringing us in money. The Cuxhaven's a good plane as well, so we just need to find stuff for it. So let's go ahead and do that. For the time being, I think what we're going to go ahead and do is just put some Bangkok Singapores on it, because this plane's got good fuel consumption at 2,000. So realistically, I cannot take a plane above 5,000 fuel consumption because it's just not profitable. The Airfort here is up at 4,000 and it's manageable, but I mean it's just not worth it, is it? It's really not worth it to have a plane with high fuel consumption at all. It's just not worth it. So anyway, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and sell these two planes, though I need to wait till 11 o'clock. So let's jump into last minute because we've got a free Cuxhaven right now. So let's go ahead and see if we can take anything on. This is in the right part of the world, and that's really, really nice, but it's too many passengers. Same with that one, same with that one. All these are too big. That one isn't, but I would have to fly to around the world, essentially, and that's just not worth it. I've also got a feeling one of my planes is in the wrong place, because if you look at the map there, one of them's in Sydney, which isn't ideal, so... Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I think we just need to buy a new plane then. Looking back at the air shop in the last episode, there was one or two planes sitting around. There's one at 12 million I could have bought, and one at 14 and one at 18. So I'll probably go ahead and buy one of those. Anyway, let's jump into the museum for now. Is there actually any of these planes I could take? No, because they've got absolutely all awful consumption. Like, that is a joke. 25,000 litres per hour. That is just a joke. Can't be having that. Right, anyway, let's go ahead and I would like to sell an airplane. Let's go ahead and sell the mains. I don't know if I'm going to make a profit or a loss on this, actually. I didn't really do much to the mains at all, so I'd like to sell an airplane, and I'd like to sell the Rhine. Yeah, I've made a loss, a definite loss. Not by much, but I've made a loss. Right, so that's that part done, and the 2 planes in there are no good at all. Now we can go ahead and go to last minute travel, and last minute travel now should be scaled to the 2 planes sizes that I've got, i.e. 220 passengers, so it's still got 340s on here. I've got a feeling I've got to tick over into the next day, which isn't ideal, so we'll go along to air travel and see if you've got anything on the way back, but I need to go ahead and make lots of staff redundant now. 340, 340, 280, 340, and 340, so not ideal at all. I mean, I think it was very much worth doing that, but it's not paid off at all, so let's go ahead and just, I guess, revert. And the Cuxhaven is surprisingly, amazingly, extremely low on its healing percentage as well. I'm not at all sure why that is, but got hit by sabotage, and I didn't actually check what the sabotage incident was, so I have a feeling. Right, let's go ahead and fire some staff, get them off the payroll, because that will also make a difference. Do you deal with firings? No, you don't. You do, though. Show me the file of my flight attendants. So I need to get rid of 7 flight attendants, I believe, or maybe more than that. Satisfaction is what I'm looking for. That number is my golden number, so 67. Currently working. Is that the figure I do want to follow, or is that her personal satisfaction? Very highly gifted. Is that good or bad? I can't remember the scale. Because I believe gifted is actually better than very highly gifted. Which doesn't make sense. Average. We can get rid of you. Talented. I don't know if this is good or not. Tell you what, let's go ahead and hire an advisor, because I was talking about this. Those that a trainer I want, we'll take you on. I might just fire you literally in 2 seconds. Let's go ahead and come back into here. Let's go to flight attendants. 16 staff, so you are... See, I would say very talented is good. Talented sounds better than gifted, does it not? I don't know. Right, anyway, your satisfaction's okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. All okay, very highly gifted, you're fine. I'm just gonna fire you just based on your pure satisfaction and fire you. Gifted, I'm spending a lot of money on you, but that must mean you must be good. Talented, 6,000, I'm not paying you a lot. Just stop there because I can't remember how many flight attendants I've actually fired. We're down at 12, so leave it like that for now. I can actually add some of these flight attendants into other planes. Yeah, I think it will, I'm in the wrong menu. This is embarrassing now. 13 staff we've still got on the payroll. Let's go ahead and see what we've got at the end here. There's a 67 there. Gifted. 15,000, that's quite some saving there. Right, I think we fire one more and then we're sorted. I'm just gonna leave it though for the time being. With regards to pilots, you spend a lot more money on pilots, so we can definitely go ahead and get rid of some of you guys. Though, moderately talented will fire you, the average guy will fire you, and then we'll go for... I don't know, we're gonna leave it for the time being, because I am still in the market for a new plane anyway, so it's not the end of the world. But what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna have to go ahead and I need to tick forward into the next day. That's the next big thing we need to do. So that should go ahead and reset last minute, and also our other travel agent, which I cannot remember the name of. Air travel. We need to go ahead and really get the Cuxhaven back in order, because that was making us our bigger money. Our airfare makes us consistent money, but it's not a lot of money, so... Right, we can do that, literally no problem. All this is 180 passengers, so that's fine. Sunday, Singapore to Nairobi, yeah, we can do, let's do it anyway. No more flights on Sunday. Hong Kong to Singapore is fine until Thursday. Singapore to Riyadh we can do. Singapore to Nairobi we can't. No, we can't do. Though I can't remember if I've just taken another flight which goes to Africa, is from Africa to Singapore, or for Singapore to Africa. I'm assuming it was Nairobi as well, actually, because I don't think you can fly to many other destinations in Africa with my fleet size, and we can also take that Manila to Singapore. So let's go ahead and just double check, because that plane that we didn't take, or that order we didn't take, might be worth taking. So Hong Kong to Singapore, then let's do a Manila. We could go back via Bangkok there, actually, because that would probably save a tiny bit. Yes, it saves an hour. No, it doesn't. I need to go from Hong Kong to Manila, actually, so that's not worth it at all. I need to go from Singapore to Manila. Could I go... No, Manila's not really in that direction. I could do that the other way around, though, and then possibly get in a... What do I do? Singapore, Bangkok? Would that would save an hour, I think. Does it? Yeah, it does save an hour. Right, yeah, let's do it. Every little helps, I guess. Right, on the... So, Singapore to Nairobi. I actually want to pull this back and give myself... This plane, though, is a bit damaged right now, so I don't want to go ahead and jinx it. We can get that Nairobi return flight in, though. So we might as well go ahead and try grab that while I can. And then that'll make us some money on the return flight. That could be a really profitable day, actually. Is it still here, though? No, yeah, it is. Singapore, Nairobi. No. That's a Singapore, Nairobi. But I need Nairobi, Singapore, don't I? That's right. Air travel, Singapore, Nairobi. That's all I need to remember. Right, thank God we didn't take that, because that's a duplicate and we wouldn't get... We would actually get back in time, because that flight takes 11 hours. I'm gonna leave it though, just because I need to fly anyway to Peking or Beijing. Now that is a problem. We can flip these round though, so that's not too bad. So that works out nicely there, though this plane is really, really busy right now, so... and then we need to go from Nairobi back to Singapore, which is not good, so... Tell you what, I'll put that in there on Tuesday morning, and that brings us back to... Well, that'll be in Riyadh, actually, so... It's going to be more profitable, it's going to work out, and then we should be fine on our effort as well, which is good to see. Right, let's tick over, and then go to the bank tomorrow. I want to also go to the proper airline shop as well. Personnel's at 85%. I do actually need to go ahead and touch up my other plane, so that's where we will start today. I didn't click on anyone's office. Unless I've been sabotaged again. Do need to go back in security actually and just check how things are going on in there, because I need to make sure my... I've got a feeling it's every single save it actually resets the security, so I have checked in this save. I'm recording this in the last episode as back-to-backs, which is good. Right, please repair my planes as the following. Target needs to be much higher than that. Let's go for 90. We have the money. So that's going to cost me a hot... How much, sorry? I don't know, I've just put some money down for that anyway, so that should go ahead and help. And then we can go up to 100s another day. I would go for 100 straight away, but I am also sort of saving up for a new plane right now, so I don't want to go ahead, and 90% is very acceptable, so... Right, no changes there. Changes with me, not really actually. It's not really probably taking into consideration my share rate, me selling 2 planes, and then the other 2 have really not changed at all. Falcon Lines, their share price has gone back up again, so... Jeez, oh jeez. Right, so where are we at now? Let's go ahead and go plane shopping, I guess you could say, because we're fine on our scheduler for a while. So let's go ahead, I just need literally the perfect plane, and I'm really not at all sure what to go for. I'm really unsure here, so let's jump in here and let's see what we've got. I know we had a look through this catalogue in the last episode, but I really do need to go ahead and actually make a good choice here. So, because all these are new planes in general, most of them have really good consumption. I now have a new guideline to myself to keep it below 5,000, just so I can go ahead and increase that profitability. And then we'll go from there. Right, okay, so we have, I mean, it's a great plane, but this would be the perfect median, or medium. That would be ideal. Consumption's good, speed is good, range is good. It also has a decent amount of freight as well, actually, and then the passenger numbers are good as well. So that'd be really lovely. Arguably, I don't need something that goes that far, because what I could do is I could just buy a plane like this and just use this exclusively for the... Because that 149, that would go up to about 170. Though I could quite easily make that... I could introduce first class in quite easily, so... I don't know what I want to do though with the Singapore-Bangkok. Because it's a really short route, so I could buy a plane which is very short distance. And then really just go ahead and... leave it. I just set it up for life essentially, so I don't really have to touch it again. All these bottom ones are just not the right capacity, or not the right fuel consumption. So it looks like we could be going the Airbus way. Airbus definitely excite me the most. So we could go ahead and change up and buy maybe the Airbus 320 there for 12 million. I could make that the new Erfurt, if you will, and then because the Erfurt's a really good plane in itself, it's got a decent distance, I could go ahead and maybe use that to go to Australia and then pick up another charter. Hold up, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, it turns out we could have got more people in the Erfurt. That's great, isn't it? How many people can we get on this? Right, I think we're going to change it up anyway, so that's regardless. It turns out I do have some first class on that route. I've been hit by sabotage, so I probably should have checked that. Right, you can actually make 38,000 because I can get 240 passengers on that plane, so I've been missing out on 8,000 per flight. That's a bit annoying. Cuxhaven, you're still scheduled for the time being. Right, we don't have 12 million yet though, so that's my only downfall, but I would like to go ahead and I think get that plane. Let me just check something very quickly. We can do that outside. Is there still another tenant on my route? Because, or not my route, but... Oh, I was hovering over the wrong one there. Right, no, in general I'm good there, so that's fine. Right, so the distance is 1,400 kilometers, so it's nothing. I could quite easily then go ahead and pick up... And definitely pick up Singapore to Perth and put that on the Erfurt. And then maybe with this Sydney to Singapore, that's 6,100. So if we go back in here and check the Erfurt, I think it's 6,200. Please. Yes, okay, so it is in range, only by about 300 kilometers, but it is in range, so that means that we can go ahead and go for that. Let's just double check and see if the plane will definitely fit our requirements. I'm kind of worried about seating, that's the only thing that kind of concerns me. But outside of that, the A320 sounds ideal, so consumption's good. Speed is like 50 kilometers per hour lower than the 310, but I think for what it is, for 12 million, it's pretty good, and I could quite easily go ahead and buy and go for another one of these at a later stage, if it's in with close proximity, so maybe pick up the route to Mail as well. That wouldn't be too bad in the Maldives, because that must be only about maybe 2,500 kilometers away. Right, okay, I think, yeah, that's what we're going to go for. I don't have 12 million yet, though. And there'll also be, I always like to leave myself just this magic million, just in case something goes drastically wrong. Though hopefully we will not get to that stage. I could take out a loan as well, actually. It's something we've not really done before, but I think in a few days I really should be able to make this money. Though I do need to go ahead and fill up the scheduler on the Cuxhaven very shortly, and let's go ahead and do that. So from Tuesday onwards, I've got a free Cuxhaven, which I want to go ahead and start to play around with. I do feel kind of bad that in this series though, because it's really not gone that well with regards to game progress. As I said, I did think I was quite lucky previously, but even at that I feel there's been a slow progression in this series, so... But I guess not every series, or not every Let's Play goes well, and that's maybe actually some of the entertainment as well, because I've made quite a few mistakes in this. Arguably one of them was buying 2 planes at once, so not ideal at all. Right, anyway, Wednesday that works out fine until Sunday, that works out fine, though it is a long distance. Though, is it worth doing? I mean, yeah, it's pretty much worth doing. Tuesday, we're kind of busy on Tuesday, and that's not amazing profit, so we'll leave you. Until Friday we can. So it turns out mail's actually a little bit longer than I thought, though it's only 3,300, so it's not 3,700. So that means I could get the A320 if I was to take the route from Singapore to Mail on the charter. Then that means the A320 could fly it, and then until Thursday out to Madagascar we can do as well, which is fine. Right, let's return to the office. That should fill up my schedule to at least Wednesday, maybe if not Thursday. So that means we can skip forward and hopefully go ahead and buy this plane. So let's go ahead and start off. That could be problematic. It's not too bad actually, that's going to be a lot of money. Wednesday, we're being really inefficient here. We've got large gaps, but it's not costing me a lot of money, which is good. So I guess we are carrying a bit of cargo though, so that's fine. Then until Thursday, this is the most inefficient route scheduling I've done here, right? So Singapore to Riyadh, can that go before? Because if I'm in... No, that's going to cause problem. Right, that needs to go in there, doesn't it? That needs to go in there. Right, I'm just going to have to do it that way around. And then we've got until Friday and until Sunday. So we'll fly it to Mail on Friday evening, give the plane a wee bit of a break, and then we'll do Melbourne on Saturday evening as well, which is fine. So we've randomly got a Singapore Bangkok in there. I'm going to go ahead and keep it in there actually, and then we're going to go ahead and do a Bangkok to Singapore back on Saturday morning, which works out like that. So that's you sorted all the way to Sunday. So that should go ahead and easily generate us the money we need, that extra 2 million or so. We went down in money there. Not good. But going forward, we should actually go ahead and make quite a bit of money, especially into Thursday. I think Thursday is where we make quite a bit of money here. So 11.7, we go to only 12. Right, okay, it's kind of disappointing. Are you not doing very well? I mean, you're making 40... So this essentially, this plane is making 240,000 a day, because it's consistently getting 40,000. What about you? I guess you've been flying around and I guess not been doing too profitable routes, so... Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. That takes us up to 12.5, and then if we go again, one more day we'll run into Saturday here. Then that brings us up to 12.9, so... Do I have enough money to buy the plane? Yes, I do, so let's go ahead and do that now. And then that sets us up pretty much perfectly for the next episode, which is good. So let's go ahead and buy a plane. We know what we're buying, so we can be in and out of here ASAP. I think we'll buy just the one, and that's that bought. Right, perfect. Next thing is we might actually have to buy a new gate soon as well, with 3 planes. I don't know how the scheduling is going to work with this though. Anyway, so it's called the Bamberg, which is easier to pronounce than Mainz. Okay, actually, yeah, you're a small plane, aren't you? Very small indeed. I could very much just make this like a first class plane though, because that would make me quite a bit of money. First thing we're going to do is, I can't really actually do too much to you right now with regards to upgrading the insides. Let's go ahead and go back into inside cabin view, and actually let's go to outside cabin view on the Bamberg. Just gonna make it all first class or second class right now, sorry. This means I can get 147 is the figure. So it's drastically smaller than the Erfurt actually, so we might have to have 2 of these planes, for example, flying from Singapore to Bangkok, though I can quite easily leave the Erfurt in there to help go ahead and fly people to and from, which is fine. I realised in my previous series I named my planes by routes. Right now we're not at that stage, but quite likely at some point we are going to have plane name changes. So we'll go ahead and call you just the 1 for 7 Bamberg, just so that gives me an indication of how many passengers we can carry. So that's perfect, and now what I'm going to do is literally start to fill up the schedule as of Monday with Singapore Bangkok, which is ideal. Right, so that partially solves my problem anyway. I do need to upgrade the inside of this plane pretty quickly though, just because I'm not going to be making too much money on it off the bat, which is fair enough. So let's go ahead and do that like so. And can I duplicate down? I can, which is nice. So let's go Bangkok, Singapore. We'll give you a gap on like Thursday midday or something, which is fine. So that works out nicely. We also have the right amount of staff already, which is good. So I guess no waste there, though I still might have too many pilots, or I still might have too many flight attendants. But I'll sort that out off recording, because that could take a while for me to filter through. So we're now up to flying 35 and 36 times a week, which is good to see. So let's take forward to tomorrow. I need to sort out the cucks. Haven't actually. That's one thing I need to do, because you're empty now, so we can take a last minute order there. Very quickly run down. I just need to fill this up very quickly. I just feel I'm being a little bit inefficient here. I do want to go ahead and very much, I just sort of need to get back up to a few million, and I also need to upgrade our Bamberg quite quickly, just on the insides. So, we are in the part of the world which we could fly that. We could fly that, though it's not worth it. Tokyo to Manila we can do, but it's not that amazing, though it is tomorrow. So tell you what, I will take that. Caracas to Vancouver's not going to happen. Singapore to Perth could happen. Yeah, we'll do that. And then San Jose to Orlando is a no-go. Right, so that's just got quite a fair amount of planes scheduled for movement today. Let's run along, and we've got one flight today picked up and one flight for tomorrow picked up, but going forward we need to go ahead and get some more orders in here, so we can do that, we can do that. Manila, Singapore's quite short, so we can probably do that. I can't do that Nairobi flight, unfortunately. I don't think I have the time, because the Airfort even couldn't fly that. The Airfort doesn't go over 6,800 kilometers. We can do that Peking flight, I believe, and then I guess both of those are Nairobi. That'd be a nice round trip actually, but I just don't have the time tomorrow. And as I said, that would need to be the cucks having anyway, so I don't think I can fit it in anyway. Right, let's go ahead and fill up. I can get most planes on this except the Riyadh plane on there actually, Riyadh. Let's just go ahead and fill this plane up for now. So you go off to Perth, come back via Manila, go to Tokyo. I can surely make this a bit more efficient. Yeah, I really should be able to. Yeah, this is so inefficient. Though I think it's going to do. We're not, to be fair, at the times I'm not actually making money, I'm not actually losing that much money anymore. It's just, I guess it's a waste of time where I could be making things a little bit tidier, but right, Singapore to Perth, I'm just trying to think how can I make this any more efficient, and there's not really much I can do. So we're going to leave that for that. The Airfort is slightly... Oh, I've just had the perfect idea. Right, skip forward to Tuesday. And then we can execute my idea. So I'm up to over 2 million, which is perfect. Let's go into the next day. That should get us to 2.5 maybe. Yep, perfect. Some sabotage and Falcon there. I need to check the bank too. We'll do that at the very end of this episode. Right, so you're making 21,000 and you're full, which is fine. You guys are still, you're not, oh, you're slightly down in profit. You are full, but the reason is because of fuel prices, so that's fine. So that means we can consistently keep both these planes on. The route capacity must be around 66. I think that's going to go up now. But what I want to do is I do want to introduce first class onto this route. And we're going to do that with the smaller plane, because I think that makes sense. So the first thing I want to go ahead and start to do some upgrades. Especially on the inside. So that's not going to cost a lot at all, though I can't go for 3 stars straight away. I could in some areas, actually. Right, let's do that. So that's going to cost me $1 million. So let's go ahead and execute that, jump forward to Wednesday, then add some first class, then jump forward to Thursday and see how that does. We literally spent $1 million, but we gained already 500,000 back overnight, so that's nice to see. Just fill this in on Saturday a little bit, just so we can go ahead and have a little bit more of a profitable day. Stick you in there, and then you there. That works out nicely. Right, so our gap on Thursday still exists. We're also going to have another gap on Saturday, just because, why not? We can have that at the very late evening as well. Actually, that's slightly staggered. I'm not at all sure why, but we'll come back to that in a second. Right, anyway, coming back into here, the Bamberg, let's go to the outside view, and let's go to and introduce some, for the first time, first class on this route, or that I know of anyway, because there always has been first class. However, we now have that running a little bit better. My personnel numbers are low as well, actually. They've dropped again, so that's another issue I need to sort out. Right, let's go back into pricing, because first class now is going to be quite expensive. I also want to charge 270 is fine for standards. Let's increase it by 10 actually. Let's go for 450 for first class. And then that should sync over into, it doesn't always sync. That's weird. It syncs the second class price, but not the first class price, so. Let's go ahead and raise that up to 450 like so. And then, I really need to end this episode, I just realised the time actually. So let's go ahead and check that out now. Is that updated? It's not, so let's jump forward into Friday. Which is looking not too bad. Image is at 34%. I mean, that's gone up quite drastically. Anyway, right, you're making 28,000 a day. Your guys aren't, you're not full though. That was interesting. You weren't full. But you are making 39,000. Maybe seeing that 10 extra dollars. And then you're not getting any first class passengers though. You're pretty full with regards to second class passengers, but not any first class. Which is weird actually, because this route has 100% image. I'm guessing just the plane needs updated a bit more. Which I can easily do. 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 stars. So that's going to cost me quite a bit of money. Let's jump into Saturday. That's come out of my bank account, but I'm still making money. Have we got any first class flyers today? We have 3. We have 4, we have 7. How much room do we have? 14 we can take, so... Okay, that's not too bad. It's a good start anyway, and I'm happy about it. Right, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this episode, so hope you have enjoyed it. Please leave a like, rate, and subscribe if you are new around here. A lot changed in this episode. I feel a lot happened in this episode, but I'm quite happy it happened, and we have definitely learned from our mistake anyway. Anyway, that's all for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.